Hello, hi, welcome to Beautifully Broken, where your scars are your glory. My name is Chide, and once again I say welcome. Once again, welcome back to my channel, to my page, Beautifully Broken. So, in today's topic, we are going to be talking about a topic I call all or nothing. Like I said, this page is called Beautifully Broken, and I'm here to talk about so many childhood traumas, adult trauma, trauma of any kind that affected us in our lives, that affected us spiritually, physically, mentally, socially, maritally, even in our careers and otherwise. All of this are what we are going to talk about and deal with. I myself, I am, or would I use the word I am, a victim of some of these traumas and these abuses. So I understand where we are coming from. I understand how painful, how deep, and how debilitating these traumas can be in our lives. I know how it can affect someone's life socially, emotionally, mentally, etc. And also, in regards to my line of work, I also am opportune to have an understanding of all of this process and how, I've seen people with such conditions that are medically termed with so many behavioral disorders. And when you listen to their story and to their journey, you see that they are victims of trauma, childhood trauma, adulthood trauma. It could be sexual, it could be physical, it could even be neglect. And it drove me to this journey to why not share my story? Why not create a community whereby we all can be bold and open enough to discuss those things that have, stopped or put our growth and our progress in life on a hold. So this is me sharing my journey with you, and I hope it helps people. I hope it helps you, and I hope it shines a light to your path. So, disclaimer, I am not yet a certified psychology, although that is in view. And so you can follow me and you can listen. And while I also venture into this journey of psychology, I would also be able to unravel so much. That notwithstanding, I study books on psychology, I read books on trauma, and I've been privileged to have some understanding. Also, like I said, I am a victim, or I used to be, I prefer to use the word a victim of trauma, and I am on the journey of healing. I am on a journey of healing. I've got my therapist, and I hope that this will help us to lead us to the right path to heal, because much more important, much more than any other thing, my concern is for us to break those shackles or break those barriers and become the best of ourselves, to express the potentials we have. For like the Bible said, the world is awaiting for you to manifest your glory. And to be fair, the sins of another, the past, is not supposed to cripple our future. Now, I'll be reading from some of the things I jotted down in this journey, in this topic called All or Nothing. I was reading a book and also reflecting on it. And it says that one of the things about childhood trauma is, or trauma of any kind, is that when we begin to heal, we want this healing to become impromptu. We want this healing to become perfect. We want the whole memory and everything to just die out within a twinkle of an eye. Yet the truth is that it doesn't work that way. It doesn't really work that way. When we are in this journey of healing, and probably along the journey of healing, along this journey, we might have a relapse, probably do something, react in the way we're not supposed to react, and do something things, and then we begin to wallow in depression and be like, oh, it's no use trying to, break from the cycle. It's no use trying to go to therapy. It's no use trying to get better because I just ended up doing the things I thought I have stopped doing. So what is the essence of therapy? What is the essence of, going to what do you call it? Probably a counseling group, or what the essence of reading my Bible and praying? What is the essence of talking to someone? What is even the essence of trying to be better if I'm still going to go back to my vomit? What we have to understand in this journey, that a pattern of life has been formed over the years. Why while we were experiencing these traumas, a pattern of life has already been formed within this period. Now there are four stages of human reaction to situations: is fight, flight, fawn, and freeze. In my next video, I'm going to talk about these four types of reaction to situation. But what I want us to understand is that during the period of this trauma, some of us must have adopted a certain kind of response. Some might have done a flight response, that is avoiding the circumstances, trying to run away from the circumstances, trying to deny the circumstances. Some people can go as far as trying to create a fantasy world in their mind. And some people can fight, might just react to it, fight, which is being aggressive and fighting, and all of that. Some people freeze. You see them appear like powerless. They allow everything to happen to them, and they're just frozen. And some people take the part of fawning. What is fawning? Subjecting yourself to the abuser, trying to win the abuser's love, trying to do everything possible to get the abuser's love and acceptance. So all of this are the four ways people react to abuse. And what I'm trying to say is that when we react to these abuses in this particular form, some people are, in whatever way, flight, fight, fawn, or freeze. What happens is that the brain is already used to that pattern. So it is not something you can just automatically stop or automatically let go of. It's just more like a baby that is, learning to walk. There are times you will stand and walk and fall. Doesn't mean that the baby will have to stop trying to walk. The baby is going to keep trying to walk until the baby gets to the point of independently and freely walking without any kind of, wobbling or falling. Yet that doesn't stop this child, as the child is growing, from falling. Like all we as we individuals, that in as much as we have been granted the ability to walk and all of that, doesn't mean that at times we don't stumble and fall. Doesn't mean that at times we don't hit our foot on a stone, etc. Now, when we stumble and fall, doesn't mean that we now sit down wherever we've stumbled and fall and be like, oh man, I just fell. There's no need for me to try to walk again. No, the next ideal thing we do is to stand up, dust ourselves, and continue with our journey. And that is what happens when it comes to the journey of healing from trauma. I am bringing this to us for us to understand that we are in a journey, we are in a process. There could be times when you might accidentally fall back to doing those things. There could be times when you would sleep. Do not be hard on yourself. I want us to understand that upon every time that we are hard on ourselves because of repeating a mistake, or because of repeating that cycle, and we now get angry at ourselves and everything, what you are actually doing is that you are getting angry at your inner child, your inner self, the part of you that experienced it. So that means you are depriving that part of you love, and that means there is no way the part of you can fully trust you. Now, what we are trying to do is to heal that inner child. Tell that inner child, tell that inner self that it is okay. We're no longer living in that phase or that time. We have overcome that phase or that time. We are in a better position to take care of ourselves, in a better position to defend ourselves, and begin to unlearn the lies that we've learned during this period of this abuse. There was a movie I was watching. In this movie, this man has an only child, and the child is like everything to him, the daughter. So the daughter came back from school and said, my teacher made me cry. He was so beclouded with his love for his child that he didn't bother to ask, what did you do or what happened that made your teacher make you cry? He just went ahead to like report the teacher and everything. The teacher was sacked. Along the line, he realized that the daughter just said the teacher made me cry because she cautioned me and told me to read my book. So the man was like, she didn't lay her hands on you or anything. She said, no. Now, the man was sorry and apologetic. Long story, the man apologized to the lady and helped her to get her job back, and they became friends. So along the line, one of the days, the man took ill and wasn't able to come and pick up his daughter. The teacher was had to go to the hospital to help the man, since there was no one to help the man, and the nanny, according to the movie, has gone for the weekend. So she stayed back and nursed the man at home. While trying to nurse the man at home, she slept off on the man's bed. And when she slept on the man's bed, the man waking up, seeing her sleeping beside him on the bed, got angry and started ranting and saying so many words that you are like every other woman. You just all you plan is to get into my bed and sleep with me and get my money, and ranting so many things. And he kept talking and talking, and the lady was confused. The lady was like, I was only trying to help you get better because you were running temperature and you didn't want to stay in the hospital. She was like, I don't care. That's They're just using it as an excuse, and bring so many abusive words on her, called her a gold digger, etc., etc. The lady with pain, she finally called her a trash, and that was what hit home. The lady in pain had to like go home. I was like, I'm not gonna ever speak to this man. So along the line in the movie, his friend was like, you went off board. Stop reliving your past. So it happened that what caused his wife to actually die was because he was set up by another woman. And when the wife, heavily pregnant, came into the room, saw a woman lying on his arms, and she was devastated and broken. She zoomed off and was driving, and while she was driving, she had an accident. And from that accident, she had to prematurely deliver the child, and along the line, she died. So just the fact that he saw that lady lying beside him, all all he could see was that scenario replaying itself. So actually he was talking to the lady but was not talking to the lady. He was talking to the lady in the past, who was the reason why he lost his wife. So that is the dangers of not dealing with our past, of just trying to we keep seeing ourselves going through the cycles of making that mistake of like we are not dealing with the issue in present. We are just dealing with the past, with what appears to us. And you see that all of these things affect our relationship, affect ourselves. Not everyone is willing to come and sit down and start understanding that, oh, you underwent trauma, oh, this is why you are acting the way you are. No, but it's going to see that when this hurt is still in there, the individual tends to pour out the poison to others, just like the man in the movie did. He poured out that poison to that woman and said so many demeaning words to her, and it really did hurt her. And that is how the cycle of trauma could continue. So if the man wasn't humble enough to acknowledge his wrong and apologize. So all I'm trying to say is that we are on a journey to try to heal ourselves. Now, if this man in question has really sat down, probably gone to therapy, or truly reflected on what happened and tried to heal himself from the pain of the past, he wouldn't have relieved this problem again. He wouldn't have handled it the way he handled it, and he wouldn't make a public ridicule of himself, if I should use that word. So what we are trying to say is that in this journey, do not expect yourself to be 100% free, 100% free from the traumas completely at a time. Just understand that we are in a journey. We are going through a journey to overcome these traumas, to stop its ability of controlling our lives and sending the wrong signals of who we are to the world. Because even as though the man is a very good person, just because of what he did to the lady, his pain, his past has sent off a wrong signal about him to the lady, and you don't even know who you're going to meet tomorrow. And the person's our attitude in regards to life experiences will you know spoil things for us, if back in my country, they spoil things for us. So we're not supposed to allow all of those things to define who we are, to define what we do. And we should understand that so long as we're on earth, there will always be triggers. There will always be some things that will always kind of want to remind us of that. So probably along this journey in my video, we're going to talk about flashbacks and how to deal with flashbacks and etc. But all I really want us to understand is that I need us to love ourselves. I need us to understand that we are in a journey and it's not just going to, change overnight. It's going to be a process. It's going to be work. We're going to work towards ourselves. We're going to be more intentional. We're going to take control of our quarters and the other part of our brain, the two part of our brain. And there are so many things to unravel in this journey about how the primitive part of our brain takes dominance over the reasoning part of our brain because of the trauma experiences that we have undergone in our life. So I'm really trying to hit every point that I was able to jot down while I was reflecting on this. So, knowing just truly well that this is a pattern in our mind, we need to understand that it's gonna take time for us to break those patterns. It's gonna take time, and most importantly, remember any negative reaction you give to every time we fall is sending a signal of no love to our inner self. It's more like we are blaming our inner self for trying to do what it used to do to defend itself during the time of trauma when he or she was actually experiencing the trauma. So trying to be hard on ourselves because of that is also trying to cripple our inner selves. And one thing I have noticed is that until we begin to love and accept that aspect of what I was traumatized, we cannot really be we cannot really be able to express ourselves to the fullest. So yeah, that is what I wanted to talk to us about. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I really want to commend you wherever you are for being the strong woman, for being the strong man, for being the strong boy, for being the strong girl, or wherever you wish to identify yourself with, for being the strong individual in regards to trying to heal and taking the bold step to becoming a better version of yourself. You are strong, you are priceless, and you are beautiful, and you have all it takes inside of you to be able to overcome these obstacles, these traumas, and be the sweetest, most colorful, and loving person you can ever be. You are beautifully broken. You are not damaged. You are not written off the book. You are that special soul who have been strong enough to wage the battles of trauma and to overcome them. And now you are thriving. Thank you so much for listening to me. Until I come your way next time, it is my name, Chidi. Stay beautifully broken.